We need to talk about Leafyishere because it appears that he is crashing out yet again, and it ended with his Twitter account getting suspended. Yes, I'm going to call it Twitter. And this is nothing new for influencers. A lot of influencers go to Twitter to say some messed up shit. But Leafy was straight up terrorizing Twitter, and we're going to get into that in just a second. But let me explain who Leafyishere is for some people, because some people will not know who he is, as he is kind of an OG YouTuber. And a lot of people who haven't been around on YouTube for that long won't know who he is. Without going too into detail, Leafyishere is a commentary reaction YouTuber who pretty much pioneered the genre and became one of the most well-known names, if not the most well-known name, in the commentary reaction channel community. His channel took off so much because how out of pocket Leafy was. He would say some absolutely diabolical shit that would absolutely not be allowed to say on YouTube today. And once YouTube started to become a lot more censored, and eventually Leafy just abandoned the channel, but he would return, but only briefly, as his channel was quickly terminated. There is channels on YouTube that repost old Leafy videos, but Leafy has absolutely nothing to do with that and does not get paid for it. But after his YouTube career was put to rest, he decided to start streaming on Rumble, where he'd quickly just start beefing with YouTubers to keep his name relevant, before seemingly retiring from Rumble as well. Since then, it appears he got extremely bad on alcohol and actually was arrested and had his license taken away for multiple reasons, but he also ended up having a kid, which is good news, I guess. But it does mean that he is a horrible influence on his own child when you consider what he has been saying on Twitter. Yes, we're going to talk about it now. About a week ago, he returned to Twitter and instantly just started a wildfire, saying multiple hateful things directed towards the LGBTQ community, which regardless of how you feel, we all know you can't really do in this day and age. He would start off by saying there's only two genders, before a couple days later saying non-binary people aren't real, then following that up with fuck Pride Month, and then trolling the fans saying I am trans. That offended a good portion of Leafy's fans, but not really all of them, since we know Leafy's fans aren't very sensitive, including myself. I can laugh at a simple joke, but regardless, Twitter ended up letting this slide. But then yesterday, on the 14th of June, Leafy would tweet Israel, which I'm probably going to have to censor that. Honestly, I'm not even going to be able to say that on YouTube because I like my YouTube channel, okay? But Twitter did not take kindly to this. They quickly suspended his account, leaving a good portion of his Twitter followers in the dark since they didn't even see the tweet. But this isn't even the only time that Leafy has said something about Israel, since in 2023, he said Israel might be evil, which isn't banned-worthy or suspension-worthy, but it shows that he already had a hatred for Israel going on years now, or at least was skeptical of Israel. And considering that Israel and Iran is now fully in conflict, this was obviously just not appropriate timing and was completely disrespectful for the lives involved with this whole ordeal. I don't fully know everything about the Israel and Iran war, but if I'm not mistaken, isn't Israel fighting I could be completely wrong, but that is just what I've heard on the news, so please correct me if I'm wrong. So the fact that Leafy is saying stuff like nuke Israel is absolutely insane and is just out of pocket. And I personally just cannot defend Leafy for this. And like I said, this is most likely just to keep his name relevant, as he is now practically completely fallen off. But at this point, he's just tarnishing his reputation, and he might as well just be making videos with Mr. Based and Joshua Block, which I have talked about on the channel before. Like at this point, just fucking start making videos with Jack Dorothy. I'm gonna keep calling him Dorothy. I don't really care. It's Jack Dorothy to me. And that's not me wishing on the downfall of Leafy. I genuinely enjoyed his content back in the day, and I used to binge it for hours. I loved commentary reaction videos. That's kind of why I got into commentary YouTube in the first place, because of YouTubers like Leafy and the now controversial Cyrus / Wi-Fi Skeleton, which I guess, rest in peace, he was a P3 DO, so I don't really respect him, but I guess rest in peace but for your legacy, what was left of your tarnished ass legacy. But anyways, this isn't me wanting to see Leafy fail. I would really want him to be able to return and be successful, but he has to stop being so stubborn and just give in to YouTube's policies. It's going to be the only way you could ever survive on YouTube again if they give you another shot. But it seems like that's most likely not going to happen, if we're being honest. But yeah, there's nothing else really to talk about right now. But if there is any updates, I will make another video on Leafy. But yeah, all around, what is y'all's thoughts on this whole situation? Do you think Leafy should be banned? Do you really think that he was out of pocket for saying what he said on Twitter? If you ask me, there's a lot worse that people have said on Twitter, but it is definitely understandable with the timing and what's going on in the world right now and between Israel and Iran, it makes perfect sense that he does get suspended at least. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you know when I upload again. I love posting relatively short videos that entertain and inform y'all guys. So let me know your thoughts down below. Y'all stay safe, stay notorious, and keep an eye out for another video. Peace out.